And welcome back to another episode of Authentically Divine. It's me, I'm your host, Alyssa Davis, and this week's product of the week is going to be Just Ingredients. And this is I use the Sweet Citrus Face Oil, and this is the best thing I've ever used. She calls it the Pot of Luck oil, the owner, Carolyn. And Just Ingredients, if you are not familiar with their products, they're one of my all-time favorite products because of the fact that it ranges from literally they just started dropping magnesium supplementation down to face oil, down to protein powders, clean protein powders. But the owner prides herself in the fact that she does the cleanest ingredients possible, and this smells like heaven. But she also started a hair serum with similar ingredients, so I might start doing that. It's beginning to look like I might need a trim. This product right here is my favorite. I would encourage anyone to look at this. She does have a lot of discounts on the site quite often, and you can set up subscriptions alongside that and free cancellation at any time. And they actually come with discounts for the subscription, so I would definitely check it out. Just Ingredients on Instagram. She's my favorite. Hopefully one day I can work with her. Wink, wink. But again, I'm not sponsored by any of these products, but because this podcast includes a lot of the products that I enjoy, and I use clean ingredients for not only my food but my products. In case you're jumping in and haven't heard this spiel yet, each week I'm going to talk about a product or a company that I really enjoy and I use either daily, weekly, or just something that I've been eyeing out for a while. And honestly, I could make a whole podcast episode about the products that I use and just list them, and it would be a full hour's worth. So we're going to start it off small, but each week I'm going to feature something that I enjoy using just to keep it fresh. This week's episode, I'm really excited actually, and I tried to record this last week when I wasn't feeling too good, so this is the second time doing this, but this one's all about discernment, friendship, and just feeling a sense of belonging, a community, if you will. So I'm going to dive right in. Discernment and friendship, it goes hand in hand, especially, just discernment and friendships, discernment and relationships in general, it goes hand in hand. So the purpose of this week's episode is just to go into the details of finding your people, ways you can help to navigate to find the ones that you are supposed to be around, the people that make you feel invigorated with life, the people that you walk away from an interaction and you literally just feel like you're walking on air, like you're floating, and you just are filled with happiness, and it correlates to the rest of your life. That day or that week, like the people that I surround myself with now, and I share such a very sacred space with them that they also do the same, and we have quite amazing working relationships, but I wasn't always there. I struggled to have friendships. I struggled to be that friend that felt comfortable around other people because there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about. So we'll start off with the fact that now that I have these strong relationships, I'm going to go into details about how amazing they are, and then I'll go into how I got here, because it's not easy when you are someone that is a people pleaser like myself was. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I will no longer do the things that I used to do just to be liked. I don't care if I'm liked. My purpose on this earth is to be authentic, and my people will be my people when they realize that I'm myself, and I don't need to work to have a friendship or maintain a friendship that someone doesn't like the authentic version of myself. And that's taken a long time to realize. Like, people aren't going to like you, and that's okay. I'm not everyone's favorite cup of tea. This week I'm kind of chilling. Remember how I said that I love linen? I have these linen pants that I found in New York City, and I'm obsessed with them. And this cotton top, it's not organic. I will make it through. I'm in my cozy pants. It's like 85 today. I'm recording. I feel good. But I definitely wanted to talk about, I'm like really excited and loud. I just had to wake up. But I wanted to talk about friendships and discernment. Obviously, maybe I should go into a definition of discernment, but an understanding of how to navigate things. Like, for example, discernment of whether or not you should do something because it's safe or it's dangerous, having the discernment on your decisions and I have always been this version of myself, but this version of myself didn't want to come out because people judged me. Before I started to own who I am and step into the fact that I love talking, I love being the social butterfly, I love being loud, I also enjoy conversation and where I will active listen to someone too. It's like, I don't want to have those surface level conversations. I'm one of those people that if you were my very dear friend, the walls drop. Like, we're having conversations about what we ate last night. If we had one thought that came across our mind that we were like, don't like that. Or if we thought about, what type of food we're going to make later. Apparently I'm hungry. But my friendships are in depth. We're talking not only those types of like the random thoughts that come to mind, but also like, are you healing from this? Is there anything that I can do to support you? Or the journey of me being sober. My friendships have strengthened because it's setting the tone for the way that I am in person with them now. And I have such good friends, it doesn't matter that I'm sober to them. They are still my good friends. And my friendships that are valuable to me, I don't need a substance. I don't need to be a certain way. It further strengthens our relationship. And I hope that everyone gets to a point where they can look around the room and they know every single person that they're friends with truly has their best interest at heart. And it's hard. Sometimes you think that a person is good for you and really they show their true colors and you just let them be, You're not my cup of tea, even though we had great memories together. But what I would like to start off with, like I said, was just talking about how amazing my friendships are. So, good example of the way that I am with a friend or how I am with my friends. I will always love you and cherish you despite if we don't talk for 5 years, if we don't talk for 1 year, if we don't text for 5 months. But I also check in. I will be that friend that checks in. Haven't heard from you in a while. How are you? That's how my friendships are. Our friendships at the age that we are, 26, 27 plus years old, we're low maintenance friends. We don't need to be texting 24/7. We don't need to be catching up every 5 minutes. But even if we do with my friendships, if I see my best friend one day, we're texting still, and I see her the next day, or the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, we will always have things to talk about because it's, like I said, we're not just doing surface level conversations. We're not sitting there talking about other people. We're talking about like the things that I could benefit from, that you could benefit from me, like giving each other advice and business advice or relationship advice, or we will compliment how amazing this feels, how comfortable I am with you, how seeing you makes me so happy. And just that gratitude for the friendships that we have right now with each other is just the best. I look around the room with the people that I have in my life, the girlfriends that I have, and I know that all of these women are going to be my bridesmaid one day. And I probably thought that was going to be a different group than it was years ago. The group that I thought I was friends with back in middle school, high school, that group think that everyone is involved in, I would have never imagined I would have met all of my friends, my dear friends, after I've graduated, after I've, started my adult job. My life has changed entirely. And the friendships that I have now include 2 weekends ago, I drove to where my friend lives. She lives around New York City. That's like a 5-6 hour drive from where I am. I haven't seen her in 5 years. I haven't seen one of my dearest friends in 5 years. We've maintained our friendship for over 5 years. Maintained our friendship over 5 years of not physically seeing one another and just catching up every now and again. Like I said, I will always check in on you and we'll not talk for a little while, but I love you. And those friendships are the ones that are so strong because we both understand, like, we live on 2 different timelines. Our lives don't correlate right now, but we meet in the middle and we find our common ground and we're able to enjoy ourselves. And it was like we only planned a couple weeks in advance too. Like it came together so smoothly, which is how you know it's divine timing. Perfect timing to go and see them and be around godly men and women where God was a topic of conversation amidst all of the other things that we were doing. And it's that comfortability. Again, when you're around real, genuine people, the walls just completely drop. There is no reason for them. You are yourself. There's no facade. This is exactly who you are. This is exactly who they are. And that's why we get along so well. Oh, I love my friendship with her. We actually did, so I think I touched base on the foods that I eat, but I eat mostly all organic. I really don't have junk food in the house. If it is, it's a clean junk food, and I eat intuitively and all of that. But my friend actually her boyfriend treated us to a farm to table, like 4-course meal. And they even came out with amuse bouche, and I love amuse bouche. If you don't know what it is, my one good friend always like makes a joke. She doesn't know what it is, so she'll just like stumble on the words and call it something random, but that's why I'm laughing. But amuse bouche, I feel so fancy when I have one. I'm like, okay. Like, it's just that amuse bouche, if you're really unfamiliar, it's not like that fancy. It's a bite-sized appetizer before the appetizer. It's literally like this. It's a bite-sized appetizer. It's so small. And we ended up going to a farm. It was like a farm around the corner. I got to pet Jersey cows. And Jersey cows are big puppies, and I love them so much. And I just want to hug them and pet them all day. I love them so much. My puppy dog voice is coming out. But the trip was catered to nature and being around animals. And if I could curate a trip for myself, it would have been that. Like, honestly, it was just such a good time. That's the type of thing. And I even stopped and got raw milk from a dairy farm. My one good friend from middle school, I met her in elementary school, but we didn't become like really close until middle school. She is in school in like an island right now. She's there for vet school, and I haven't seen her in 8 months. She just came home last weekend. And although we don't see each other physically all the time, we still text. We still get together again as though no time has passed, because it doesn't pass. When you have really good, solid friendship, that type of friendship will not fade. The love does not fade. I want to encourage anyone that feels that they have to hold their friendship in a certain way, like I have to go and see them, I have to go out and drink every Friday just to maintain this friendship, or I have to go be in this league to maintain my friendship because otherwise we don't talk. I want to just encourage you and say that there is nothing that you have to do to maintain a good friendship. And, obviously people are different. Like, some people like to see others more often. Some people don't like to see them as often and like to do individual things, like myself. Just words of encouragement. If you are one of those people that's listening to this and is like, oh, I can't relate to this yet, just know that not everyone is going to find that core friend group when you're in college. Not everyone's going to walk out of high school with the same friend group and continue on with their lives. Not everyone is going to find like solitude in those types of friendships for the rest of their lives, and that strength to know like you're going to be okay regardless if your interests change. Your friends can change, or the good ones watch you blossom and they blossom with you, or they change and you love them from the side. Good, solid friendships don't have a list of requirements. It's just love, respect, and, just that at the end of the day, that care for them. Their care for the well-being. That love, respect, and care for someone's well-being all go hand in hand. But it's that capacity to discern whether or not someone loves you, someone respects you, or someone cares for your well-being that will allow you to determine where to allot this friendship. So for me, one big guide, one direction, my heart is my compass. So if my heart feels closed off in a certain area, I take note of that and I move forward accordingly. If my heart is wide open and I'm comfortable, my friends' hearts are wide open, you can feel the presence of someone when they are fully themselves too. And the world needs more people that are authentically themselves. All of my friends and all of our stages are not aligning, but we have so much love for one another and respect and care for each other's well-being that it doesn't matter what stage of their lives we're in. We all are just there for each other. I think that that's the strength of a friendship that people really should look for. Are you the friend that you are looking for in someone else? Are you honest? Are you kind? Are you patient? Do you care about someone's well-being? Do you make people feel loved? Do you respect them? Ask yourself that. Another aspect about having a good, strong relationship is the ability to call each other out, and not in a sense of like, you did this, you're so messed up, I can't believe you did that. Having a conversation with someone where you can be like, what you said really hurt my feelings, or, having an open door policy for having a communicative relationship. My boyfriend and I set the tone for that since the beginning of our relationship, where if one of us has done something that hurt the other, we say it, we talk about it, we communicate. And, everyone is going to make mistakes. We're not perfect. We are flawed as human beings. We know that very well. But if I come off with a tone and I get called out for it by my friend, or I get called out for it by my boyfriend, I'm going to sit there and resonate with what they said, because obviously the way that it came out was not the way it intended for, but I can apologize. I didn't mean to sound that way. I was frustrated about something. I will be more mindful of my tone or the words that I say when I'm frustrated. Intimate girl friendships, I feel like a lot of the time we are sometimes afraid to open that door because it's just the societal pressure. It'll make you feel like you're against your girlfriends, but really, like, the good friendships that you have, you should be able to talk about the way that something made you feel. I used to have yes men surrounding me, women, yes men, but when I would make bad decisions, everyone that I had around me was encouraging me to continue to do so. And that's also another self-reflection. Do you want the friends around you to inspire you to do better, or are you around people that you can just be flatlined or sink? After having gone through all the things that I've gone through, I don't want people to discourage me from the route that I'm taking to better myself. And I don't want to be the discouraging friend for them either. I only want the best for the people that I love. I only want the best for everyone, actually, but, more intimately, I want the best for the people that are in my life. Just having that access to have constructive criticism and allow yourself to see the blind spots with your friends and your family and the relationships that you have, it only makes you a better person. And I started that conversation with my boyfriend. Like I said, we had the open door policy. I told him from the very beginning, if there is something that upsets you that I do and I'm unconscious about it, bring awareness to me, because I want that constructive criticism. If I can do better at something, why wouldn't I want to be told that? And not in a perfectionist viewpoint. It's like, because I'm still going to be myself and I'm still flawed as a human being. But if someone has a conversation with me and they, there's something that I can fix or something I can tweak to do better and have a better relationship with them, or a better relationship with my job or the performance that I'm doing to earn more money, why would I skip out on that conversation? I thoroughly am one of those people that enjoys growth. It makes me so fulfilled with my life. I always want to be doing not only better, but I want the doors to open for me. Because I am practicing how to do a podcast. I didn't know how to do this before. I loved speech classes back in college. It's been since I graduated in 2019. It's 2024. I'm not even using these speaking points that I learned in college for speech classes up until 4 or 5 years later. I mean, I do talk in my day-to-day job, so that helps strengthen my ability, but you have to practice to be able to get better at something. It allows me to look at that the next time I have that occur, and I can strengthen that within myself and learn a new method, because now I'm conscious of it. But you have to, like, your blind spots, this is psychology based, but your blind spots are blind until you are able to see them. I mean, obviously. So I don't know if you've ever seen if you are a psych major, or if you even took psychology classes, you understand the iceberg analogy, where the unconscious lies, and it's like all the way down here. This is all of the unconscious. Up here is like this little, like, tiny thing of, like, the consciousness, like, and it's just right here. And yes, I'm using the Just Ingredients as an analogy for the consciousness of sponsor me. I'm so goofy. I just can't. But that analogy of this is all unconscious behavior. These are my patterns. These are all unconscious behavior, and, like, this little bit of consciousness up top. That's my actions. That's my thoughts. The second that someone starts to melt the consciousness down to the unconsciousness and brings up a new level of consciousness and the things that I'm aware of, that's when you can make change. But you have to be able to not only have good, strong people in your life that can execute that to you in a calm manner, but also, before that can even happen, you have to have a relationship with yourself that allows that to be a conversation. Because if somebody is closed off in their mind, they are not self-aware, they don't want to hear it, if you go up to them and tell them that the tone that they had was inappropriate for the situation and, that hurt my feelings, they're not here for that. They'll shut you out. They might even be, like, unfriend you. They might even unfriend you for having that conversation with them. So it's really back to the discernment. But it all starts within yourself. You have to have... I keep eating the microphone. You have to be the one to set the tone for the friendships and relationships that you have. So it all starts within you. You're not just a sponge to the external world. The external world is your reality, what you see in the forefront of your eyes. If I'm operating without a care in the world, of course I'm not going to have good friendships. And that's where all of those years prior, that's what happened. I wasn't aware of these things. I wasn't looking and yearning for good, solid friendship because I wasn't looking within myself for that. Bringing awareness and bringing things forward within a friendship or relationship is a strong, good thing. And there is nothing wrong when you have good friends, or ask your friend for advice and allow them to adhere to how you are as a person. That is when you know whether or not you have a good friend. Because my friend will go through something and, for me, I would say that's an easy no. Like, I'm out. That's annoying. I would not deal with that. I would not tolerate that. But for them, they're different. You have to adhere to the way that your friend is and adhere to their emotions and adhere to how they process the world. But good friends will make that flip of a switch to not only thinking about the way that they would handle it, but, like those people that you hear, but if I were you, I wouldn't do that. Or if I were you, I wouldn't, like when you adults say stuff like that, like when you're a kid, or your kid does that, I would never allow that. It's like, it's all about being able to be that good of a friend, about caring about the other person's well-being. My friendships, I have friends like all over. Remember how I said we're not all from the same friend group. Like, I have older friends, I have younger friends, but the fact that I'm able to adhere to how they feel and they can do it vice versa, that's what strengthens the relationship. So my main point and takeaway it's all about perspective. To have strong friendships, you have to be a strong person. My strong friendships, about my older friends that I have been around, my one good friend, her and I met, this is what I love. Like, I will meet the most random people and they become like my best friends. Like my friend that I haven't seen in 5 years that I just saw, her and I met at a waitressing job back in college that, and it was divine timing. We both needed a friend, desperately needed a good, solid friend, and we both became that for one another, and we still have a solid friendship, and she's leading me into faith and leading me further into things that I never would have thought 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago when we met, that's where our friendship would be. Truly being around friends and the love that people like that have for one another, it changes your heart. It melts any ice cold that you have. So I encourage everyone to find those types of people. Like, look for those types of people that simply just nurture your soul. My friend and I will always refer to these types of encounters or these types of feelings, because our hearts are our compass. We call it magic. That magical feeling that you have when you meet a good person, or that magical feeling of a friendship that you have with someone. I'm the friend that if my friends don't hug each other, like my friend group from middle school and high school, like the two girls that I'm best friends with, we never would hug each other. I mean, they would. They wouldn't. I mean, I would hug them. I was the one that implemented hugging. And now we hug every single time we say goodbye. And we say I love you every single time. And sorry, but those are the stipulations to being my friend. You have to hug goodbye and say I love you. And if you don't and you're not at that stage with me, you will. You will be. I assure you, you will be. I talked about the strength of my relationships that I have now, and how I mentioned that it's taken me a really long time to get there. Over time, I realized that I had been a people pleaser, and that was mostly the downfall of all of my friendships. I didn't stick to who I wanted to be or who I was. I was sticking to who everyone wanted me to be. But I really wanted to end on a high note here and just say, if you are one of those people like me in the past where you coined yourself as being the friend that was always the one that if there were 3 friends walking on the sidewalk, you were the one that was either in the grass or behind walking by yourself, this message is for you. You will find your people. You will find people that make you feel included. You will find people that love you and care for you and hear you out. And it just takes some time. So if you are in the stage where you are feeling left out, take some time to yourself. Pull back. Realize, use your heart as a compass. Use everything that I have mentioned here and take the time to get to know yourself. Take the time to hold yourself accountable if you find that you're having issues with the way you want friends to be with you, but you haven't been able to find that. Give yourself grace, because we are not perfect, and I just hope that everyone that is potentially struggling with feeling included or being loved by your friends, that you know you're not alone. Like, that's a big growing phase. The friendships and the people that I have now in my life, I wouldn't trade it for the world. The year of 2023 to now has been the most at peace and full of love and fulfilling friendships and fulfilling meaning to my life and purpose. And when you start to move forward in your life and find your people, everything starts to unfold. So I truly encourage you to just keep going, looking out, and just be authentically yourself. When you go out into public, one way that it has always helped me to make friends is just being myself. Always, at any point in time, just authentically being myself. And I encourage anyone that is looking for friendships and trying to find a friend because they're in that awkward stage of moving on to a new chapter where they're pulling themselves back. Maybe you're pulling yourself back from going out. Maybe you're trying to change your habits. I am using this platform to give you some motivation that if you're looking for meaningful friendships, fulfilling friendships, go in places that you like to be in. If you're not looking to make friends at a bar, if you're truly looking to find fulfilling friendships, go to places and that you like to enjoy. Like, if you like to go out to eat at this one restaurant and you sit there for hours by yourself or something, like, or a coffee shop, if you sit there by yourself, talk to the people that are in there. Be nice, be authentic, say hello. You never know what your interactions with strangers could entail, and even if you're not looking for a friendship, it's always nice to be kind to people. This world truly needs love, kindness, care for one another, community. It's, again, taken me a long time to get to this point. I'm almost 27, but if you are in high school, if you're in an adult even, and you are looking for friendships, truly I do encourage you to make way with going out in public and putting yourself out there. You never know. You could say hi to someone that you could potentially be marrying their cousin one day out at the coffee shop or at the gym. You could walk up and, like my friend did, came up to me and said hello, and you really never know. You really never know. So I really hope that my message and my hope for this platform is to continue to use my voice and to continue to just spread the love that I have in my life to others and give others hope that if you are ever feeling in a certain way that your life needs to change, it all starts within. You have the power. I encourage you to just continue to keep working on yourself and to continue to put yourself out there, because your best friend might be someone that you meet walking the street. Your best friend could be someone that you share an interest with. Your next husband could be walking down the block and you just pass them. Just keep putting yourself out there. Keep maintaining the authentic version of yourself, whatever that means for you. If you found resonance in this, then I hope it made your day. If you didn't, there's plenty more where these videos and episodes will come from. Thank you for being a valued listener, and thank you again. This is Alyssa Davis. I'm your host of Authentically Divine, and I hope you have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much.